Our relentless pursuit of disturbing images brings us to the photograph that encapsulates more than just a moment in time. It's the very essence of hatred and evil. At our number 5 spot is the chilling story of the photograph that captures the vile essence of none other than Joseph Goebbels, a man synonymous with darkness. As we peer into the frame, a face emerges, the puppet master of Nazi propaganda. A man whose devotion to the ideals of hatred and homicidal anti-Semitism would brand him in the annals of history. Yet the tale takes an intriguing twist as we uncover the fateful encounter that changed the very contours of this photograph. In September of 1933, as Alfred Eisenstadt, a German-born Jew, aimed his camera lens at the gathering of League of Nations, he captured a moment of unsuspecting camaraderie. Goebbels, the enigmatic figure, was initially oblivious to the photographer's heritage, and thus a series of snapshots emerged, showing a politician in a seemingly jovial mood. However, the plot took a sinister turn as the truth unfurled. Eisenstadt's Jewish heritage was revealed to Goebbels, a revelation that transformed the man's demeanor in an instant. Gone was the facade of friendliness, replaced by a scowl etched in unbridled animosity. Eisenstadt's account of the encounter echoed through time, as he describes the moments Goebbels' gaze met his own, an expression of pure, unadulterated hatred, a visual representation of the malignancy that festered within Goebbels' heart. The photograph itself became a testament to the power of personal involvement, capturing not only a political figure, but the very essence of his malevolence. The tale of Joseph Goebbels marches forward its dark conclusion. His fervor of hatred and fanaticism would persist until the end of World War II, a period marked by devastation and loss on a global scale. The shadows of his existence swallowed by the abyss he helped create. As we reflect on this photograph, let us remember that it holds more than a frozen moment. It holds the echo of a chapter in history marred by hatred and darkness. Let it stand as a reminder that even the most seemingly innocuous encounters can capture the very essence of human malevolence. In the depths of history, shadows conceal not just the figures, but the profound truths they embody. Our journey continues, unearthing the enigmas that have shaped the world we know. Enshrouded in the mist of history, we find ourselves facing a relic that transcends time, a haunting symbol of courage and resolve amid the depths of disaster. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we gaze upon the stirring image of Wallace Hartley's violin, a testament to the unrelenting human spirit. Wallace Hartley, bandleader of the Titanic, etched his name into history not only through his musical prowess, but also through an act of uncomparable bravery. As the ship descended into the icy abyss, he defied the chaos and struck up the hymn, "Nearer, My God, to Thee." The soothing notes echoed amidst the turmoil, offering solace to the passengers, a testament to the human spirit's resilient even in the face of impending doom. This violin, a gift from his fiancée, Maria Robinson, carries an inscription that speaks of love and commitment. Maria, a woman of profound means, bestowed upon Hartley an instrument that would forever intertwine their souls. Lost to the depths of the sea, the violin's fate remained enshrouded in mystery for decades. Its eventual re-emergence in 2006, nestled in an attic, ignited debate surrounding its authenticity. Yet through meticulous research and testing, the violin's genuine nature was confirmed. The story of Wallace Hartley found its culmination in the most unexpected places. A sleepy Wiltshire town where an auctioneer's gavel fell on a piece of history. The violin, a timeless relic of courage, fetched over £1 million in a bidding frenzy, attesting to the significance in the hearts of those who recognize its tale of heroism. The Titanic may have met its tragic end, but the legacy of its passengers, especially Wallace Hartley, lives on. In his final moments, he stood as a beacon of hope and strength, his music echoing through time. As we reflect upon this haunting image, let us remember the resilience embodied in its string, the courage to face adversity head-on, the power of music to transcend the horrors of reality, and the love that defies even the greatest tribulations.
What's up, everybody? My name's Ian. You could find me on my channel at Ian on the Internet. And I just want to give a big shout out to the Nightmare Lab for doing this collab. We're also going to be doing a video on my channel, so after you finish this, make sure you guys come by and check that out. And yeah, let's get right into it. And in the number 3 place, we have Bud Dwyer at the podium. Dwyer was the treasurer of Pennsylvania, serving from 1981 to 1987. He was a respected politician, but his life took a tragic turn in the late 1980s. In 1986, Dwyer was convicted of accepting a bribe from Computer Technology Associates, in a California-based firm, to award them a contract. He was found guilty on 11 counts of conspiracy, mail fraud, perjury, and interstate transportation in aid of racketeering, and was scheduled to be sentenced on January 23rd of 1987. On January 22nd, 1987, Dwyer called a press conference to address the scandal. Dwyer went to his press conference as planned, standing behind a large wooden table that separated him from 9 television cameras, 4 wire service photographers, and about 20 television, radio, and newspaper reporters. He began reading from a 21-page text that he had prepared, while aides handed out only a 20-page version to the media. The final page was expected to be his announcement that he would resign from the office. Appearing nervous and agitated, Dwyer again professed his innocence and accused acting U.S. Attorney James West, FBI agents, U.S. District Court Judge Malcolm Muir, the media, and others for tarnishing the justice system and ruining him. Upon reaching the final pages of his statement, which had not been distributed to anybody in the press, nor Press Secretary Horshack in advance, Dwyer paused and he said, "And I'm on the last page now, and I don't have enough to pass out, but Duke Horshack, I'll leave this here and you can make copies for the people. There's a few extra copies here right now." And Dwyer continued, "I thank the good Lord for giving me 47 years of exciting challenges, stimulating
experiences, many happy occasions, and most of all, the finest wife and children any man could ever desire. Now my life has changed for no apparent reason. People who call and write are exasperated and feel helpless. They know I'm innocent and want to help, but in this nation, the world's greatest democracy, there is nothing they can do to prevent me from being punished for a crime they know I did not commit. Some who have called have said I am a modern-day Job. Judge Muir is also noted for his medieval sentences. I face a maximum sentence of 55 years in prison and a $300,000 fine for being innocent. Judge Muir has already told the press that he, quote, felt invigorated when we were found guilty, and he plans to imprison me as a deterrent to other public officials. But it wouldn't be a deterrent because every public official who knows me knows that I am innocent. It wouldn't be a legitimate punishment because I've done nothing wrong. Since I'm a victim of political persecution, my prison would simply be an American gulag. I ask those that believe in me to continue to extend friendship and prayer to my family, to work untiringly for the creation of a true justice system here in the United States, and to press on with the efforts to vindicate me so that my family and their future families are not tainted by this injustice that has been perpetrated on me. We were confident that right and truth would prevail, and I would be acquitted, and we would devote the rest of our lives working to create a justice system here in the United States. The guilty verdict has strengthened that resolve. But as we've discussed our plans to expose the warts of our legal system, people have said, "Why bother? No one cares. You'll look foolish." 60 Minutes, 2020, the American Civil Liberties Union, Jack Anderson, and others have been publicizing cases like yours for years, and it doesn't bother anyone.
After deciding to break from his speech, Dwyer called to 3 of his staffers, giving each a sealed envelope with the insignia of the Treasury Department. The first envelope, given to Bob Holst, contained a letter addressed to then Pennsylvania Governor Bob Gacy, who had taken office just 2 days earlier. The second was given to Deputy Press Secretary Gregory Penny, contained an organ donor card and other related materials. The last, given to Deputy Treasurer Don Johnson, contained materials intended for Dwyer's family, including 3 letters, one for his wife Joanne and one for each of his children, Rob and Dee Dee, and suggested funeral arrangements. So, you can see where this is going. Freelance photographer Gary Miller, one of the reporters in attendance, described the scene at this point, stating it was just kind of long-winded and sad. After he had finished speaking and handing out the notes to his staffers, Dwyer then produced a manila envelope with a Model 19 .357 Magnum revolver in it. When the crowd in the room saw what Dwyer had pulled out of the envelope, the mood changed immediately from waiting to see whether he would resign to a panic. Inside the room, people gasped and Dwyer backed up against the wall, holding the weapon close to his body. Dwyer calmly said, "Please, please, please leave the room if this will affect you in any way." Among those who stayed, some pleaded with Dwyer to surrender the gun, while others tried to actually approach him and seize the weapon. Dwyer warned against either action, exclaiming in his last words,
Don't! This will hurt someone. Don't do that.
This photo captures the exact moment when Dwyer received the envelope containing the gun that he would use to take his own life. and it is fucked up. It is a haunting image, one that reminds us of the tragic events that unfolded that day, and is also a reminder of the power of live television and the impact that it can have on our lives.
Lurking at the number 2 spot, we have Franklin Delano Floyd in a seemingly mundane family moment. Beneath this image, however, lies a dark saga of unspeakable crimes that spanned over 3 decades. Franklin Delano Floyd, a name that conjures not just a criminal, but a malevolent force whose acts of depravity extend far beyond the frame of its haunting photograph. For more than 30 years, Floyd orchestrated a horrifying series of offenses encompassing kidnapping, assault of children, and even multiple murders. His existence was a paradox, constantly on the run, changing identities, eluding authorities, and weaving a web of darkness. This photograph holds a frozen moment from 1975, a year that marked the beginning of Floyd's most abominable transgressions. In an act of sheer audacity, he stole a little girl, Suzanne, from her home, assuming control over her life for over a decade. He manipulated her into believing that she was his daughter, ensnaring her in a web of deceit as he continued his sinister pursuits. Suzanne, stripped of her identity and name, endured years of Floyd's reign. He forced her to assume various identities, changing her name from Suzanne to Sharon Marshall to Tanya Dawn Hughes. Behind the facade of fatherhood, Floyd's twisted hold over her plunged her into an abyss of fear and submission. As time passed, Floyd's malevolence grew. He compelled Suzanne to marry him, sealing the chains that bound her further. A woman who once held dreams of becoming an aerospace engineer was trapped in the clutches of evil, forced into a life of exotic dancing and servitude. The photograph also conceals the baffling disappearance of Cheryl-Ann Camesso, an 18-year-old co-worker of Suzanne's. Floyd's involvement in her vanishing led to suspicion, yet the truth remained elusive. In April 1990, Suzanne's life came to a tragic end. Found unconscious on the side of an Oklahoma highway, she passed away under mysterious circumstances. It was later revealed that she had attempted to escape Floyd's clutches, only to meet a tragic fate. Floyd's reign of terror would soon meet its reckoning. In 1994, he was apprehended and sentenced to prison. Though it was behind bars that the layers of deception began to unravel. The woman that he had claimed was his daughter, his wife, was none of those. The true identity behind the lie came to light. As we contemplate this photograph, we are reminded of the depths that human malevolence can plumb. The lives forever scarred by one man's insidious agenda. Franklin Delano Floyd's legacy stands as a chilling testament to the capacity for darkness within. Emerging from the shadows of history, we stand witness to the photograph that captures a sinister dance between innocence and evil. In the number 1 spot, we have the image of John Wayne Gacy, a man who concealed his darkest impulse behind a veneer of deception, shaking hands with First Lady Rosalind Carter. Step back in time and venture into the abyss that was John Wayne Gacy's life. Convicted of the heinous murders of 33 young boys and men, his actions would leave a stain on history's canvas forever. Gacy, a man who wore many faces, the jovial clown who entertained children, and the evil predator who lured victims to their doom. His deeds were a grotesque blend of sadistic torture, murder, and the unrelenting urge to manipulate those around him. But here's where the chilling complexity deepens. Gacy, a figure whose charisma charmed an entire community, hosted elaborate street parties and entertained children at hospitals. He even dressed as a clown, eliciting smiles from the innocent while harboring an unspeakable secret. As we delve deeper, we uncover the inconceivable, a man who's not just a monster, but also a Democratic precinct captain, engaging in political activities while perpetrating crimes of the darkest nature. He exists in 2 worlds, a paradox of evil and charisma. Imagine this, a man with the blood of innocent victims on his hands, shaking hands with the First Lady of the United States. A moment that defies reason and logic. A photograph that captures the audacity of deception. Gacy's double life was a symphony of horrors that culminated in his arrest in 1978. The bodies of his victims, some buried beneath the floorboards of his suburban home, revealed a trail of darkness that stretched back years. The clown who entertained and the monster who murdered. It's a dichotomy that shakes the foundation of our understanding. Gacy's web of deceit collapsed, and justice ultimately prevailed. As we contemplate this chilling image, we're forced to confront the unfathomable depths to which human nature can sink. The photograph reminds us that even within the corridors of power and influence, darkness can lurk, hidden behind painted smiles and false facades. And those who seem harmless can harbor the most malevolent intentions. The legacy of John Wayne Gacy, a Democrat, a monster, serves as a haunting reminder of the enigma that is the human soul. That concludes this week's session at the Nightmare Lab. If you enjoyed this episode, click the like button and comment below. If you have your own twisted tale that you'd like narrated on our channel, submit it through the form in the description. Become a part of our sinister collective by subscribing. Be here next week for another concoction to feed the nightmare.